Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of FSEconomy with me, Herd 37. Well, I was actually going to do a flight last night, and I didn't end up I had all the jobs and everything lined up, and I ended up not having enough time, so I released the plane and everything. I came back today, ready to do that flight, and amazingly enough, someone actually flew that plane out of there. And it's weird, it's like a small little area, and somehow somebody actually flew that plane, so I had to find another one, and finally I found one. This one might actually pay slightly more. And we're over here at T-78 in Liberty, Texas. So I'm going to fly over to 2XS1 in Junction, Texas. It's only about 188 nautical miles. I think it's actually a little bit shorter than what I was going to do yesterday. It actually has more jobs. As you can see, there's about 15 people in here, 4 available, which is really good for the Twin Otter. A lot of the times the planes don't quite get filled up. And 19 is actually pretty good. As you can see, it's going to pay $13,740. I put a little bit of fuel in it to just get to 50%. We're going to pay $615 an hour to rent it plus the fuel. As you can see, using 60 gallons an hour, that takes us, it's over 3.5 hours worth of fuel. Now 188 nautical miles. Find 170, but probably not quite that fast. So we'll have plenty of fuel. Look over here at FS Commander. The wind, it was kind of weird area. Not a whole lot of wind showing me around that. I checked the actives. The actives right here, Liberty is runway, I believe it's 34. Yeah, 34. It's a heading of 343 degrees. And we'll head over to Harris Ranch here in Liberty. It's kind of the same thing. The wind is over here is coming from basically east. The active is runway 36. Zoom in here, and there's another one right beside it. The runway 36, the heading for that is 001 degrees. And let's see, the elevation is 1,188 feet. So come in and land on runway 36. Alright, I think that pretty much he has everything. By the way, we're flying the Twin Otter from Aerosoft. And with that, let's go ahead and move on over to the plane. Alright, everybody, here we are at the plane. Nice Twin Otter. Well, a whole lot going on here. The other flight I was going to do was over in Arizona, man. It was the desert. Just flat old desert. Looks like it's been raining here. Looks like it's wet. Alright, this is, by the way, the Business Wings livery. I need to go over to Aerosoft and download some more liveries. I think all mine are like tropical airlines and stuff, so I need to get some more. And this one's just kind of bland. Let's go ahead and start this flight, though. We're actually fine on the weight. Like I said, I don't know why it does that. Always says we're not right. Alright, so the parking brake is on. Let's go ahead and get this thing started up. I've got it on external power already. DC master switch, come on. Get the bus side here. Alright, let's go ahead and anti-collision position lights, no smoking, fasten your seat belts. Zoom in here so we can see our gauges. Watch the start. Alright, so right engine, 10%, there's about 15, right engine, there's the fuel. Looks good. Let it stabilize here for a second. Alright, let's go ahead, left engine. 10%. It's about 15 right there. Give her the fuel. That looks good. Let her stabilize. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put on the generators here. Switch this over to battery. Let's go up here. I'll turn on the bleed airs for right now. Pitot heat, windshield heat. Alright, so that's all on. Let's go ahead and hit up ATC here. Alright, tune into the traffic. Runway for takeoff. We're taking off on 34. And we're heading out to the west. Let me go up here and turn on the taxi light now. There we go. And the heading, I believe, is what, 343? Yeah, 343 degrees. Let me go ahead and set that real quick. Alright, there we go, 343. I believe we need a taxi to the right. Bring up the power here, and as you can see, if you look at our tanks, our see, it's our aft one on the left, so the forward tank actually has more fuel in it. We have those other tanks as well, the wing tanks, which I think are full. I'll have to check that out in a second. Go ahead and put the flaps out to 10. And I think we can use the wing tanks first. If we flip those on, it'll draw the fuel. It'll use that fuel. I can't believe we're not moving. the amount of power I've got into it, and she won't budge. What is going on? I'm going to have to add more. Very odd. And now she wants to go flying. Come on, don't stop here. Add a little more power. Alright, stop her right here. I'm like pumping the brakes. It's so weird. I'm trying to like do it softly, but it's kind of jumpy. I'm gonna actually put the flaps at 20 because it's kind of short. It shouldn't be short for this plane, but just to make sure. Alright, so we're going to... I said departure instead of taxi. I was even thinking taxi, and I still said departure. So we've already called it we're taking off. We're clear over there, clear over here. Transponder coming on. Landing lights coming on. Strobes coming on. Bleed airs going off for takeoff. And by the way, before we head over there, let's go ahead and put it on these tanks. I think you used these before. Alright, so put it on those. Those are, as you can see, full. But I think you can use those before you use these. I can't really remember. Come on, plane. I can't believe it. I'm at 50% on the joystick. What do you say we do a rolling takeoff? Alright. Off we go, not quite full power. We have plenty of room. There's 80. I'm going to go ahead and rotate. I'm going to pull back on the power just a little bit. You can see the temperature. We've almost got it in the red. There it comes back a little bit. Kind of worried about that. Put the nose down. Just lean back, nose up just a little too much there. Alright, let's go ahead and totally retract the flaps. I feel like I gotta trim her down a lot. We are pretty heavy for this plane. I think more of the weight is in the back, the way we loaded her up. Because the bigger cargo compartment is in the back. Now we've got her going good. Alright, so what do you say we head over to the left here? By the way, I'm going to bring this up. CDI to get over to GPS. Then we'll hit the messages here. Make sure those get turned off. Straighten her out here. Try to pitch her down a little bit more. So you're already going too fast. I would have liked to use indicated airspeed, but I'm going a little fast if I go ahead and start using it now. I'm going to back off on the power just a little bit more. I'm worried about the temperature because it's easy to set the engines on fire in this plane. I'm going to let the nose keep coming up here. That'll help slow us down, and I can use indicated airspeed. That always helps. On our way up to 10,500. We're about to hit 3,000 right now. Okay, so I'll bring the power down a little bit more. Keep the nose up, bring our speed down. There's not much scenery out here to see. Autopilot. I'll switch it over to nav. I'll go ahead and indicate an airspeed right here. And I'll start putting in a little more power. We're just climbing a little quick. Actually bring the power down a little bit more to bring our nose down. And take our heading 271. Everything looks pretty good right there. I don't know, that must be a lake or something. I don't think we're close to the ocean over here. The Gulf, down in Texas. Yeah, there isn't much here. Nice little area there. Other than that, it's just kind of barren. Already up 5,300. Like I said, the temperature is what worries me most. I'm going to go ahead and, as we're going up here, turn the bleed airs on. I've got, by the way, the scenery complexity, I've got everything on extremely dense. I like my hit the mic there. Got a little bit closer here. I'm going to bring that GPS back up. We're about 181 nautical miles away. And probably a little bit less than an hour and a half. Once we get up to our cruising altitude, we'll obviously speed up a lot. Now reduce the power. I'm going to pull off on the power just a little bit. I want to keep it away from the red as much as possible. But like I said, I've done it many times before when I first started this plane. Aerosoft put in, it's real easy when you get up towards the red to get fires in the engines. And then you're pretty much screwed. Especially if you lose both. In fact, I think in one of my aerial episodes we actually lost one. I'm thinking I was flying down to New Orleans or something. Too bad of an area there. Alright, we just crossed about 7,600 feet. So, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and speed her on up a little bit. And I'll be back in just a little bit. Alright, everybody, slowing it down to normal speed here, about 10 miles out now. On our way down to about 4,200. That'll put us 300 above as we gotta fly over to the airport. So we can get in the traffic pattern there. And put the fuel over on the forward tank until we can get them basically equalized. We still have a little bit of fuel in the wing tanks, but I turn those off just for right now. As these about equal out, I'll go ahead and switch it back over to norm. Shouldn't take too long. About 5,800 now. I'm going to go ahead and put the props back up at high RPM, 100% there. Only about 9 miles out. I'm guessing that's probably the one right in front of it. And then, all right, after that, let's go ahead, hit up ATC here. Get rid of that so you can see. Here's airport list. We're looking for 2XS1. There we are. Runway for landing is going to be 36. Full stop landing. And let's go ahead and announce our position. Bring that back up and see where we are. There we are. And I've already gone ahead and set the course. That always helps me out. Which the heading of the landing, of course, is 001. We've got about 1,000 to go here. And we're about 7 miles out. So we can probably, well, I'll leave it right here. Because we could add a little bit of power, but I'll leave it. Tanks are almost equalized. I think that's all of those warnings right here because I switched that tank over, or switch it to just forward only instead of normal. 700 feet to go, 6 miles out. I don't see either airport. I was kind of thinking that might be one. I'm not really sure. I guess it's just 6 miles out. It kind of does look like one. They're not huge airports. They're not all that small though. I looked at 2XS1. It's actually, because it's scared to be one of those really long skinny ones, but it's actually fairly wide. They're obviously smaller airports though. They're nothing major. That looks more like water. And about 200 feet to go and then we'll level out. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of power here. We're on indicated airspeed, so as I bring that power up, bring the nose up. That might have been a little much. Slow her down there. On vertical speed. Yeah, I don't notice the runways at all. And at 4 miles out, and then the one in front of it, I don't see either. Although that other one is actually a little off to the right. So I don't see anything. 100 feet to go. Just 3 miles out. Oh, come on, we're almost there to the 4,200 feet. Almost there. Barely descending at all. Tempted to pull the power back just a little bit more. And hold her right there at 4,200. I'm going to put a little more power in as we level out. we're basically right over the airport. Never could see it though. I'm gonna go ahead and put on heading mode so it doesn't click off the nav as we fly over it. Landing lights are on, that taxi light is on. We're all set up except for the tanks here. I don't even know if we should use the rest of the wing fuel. Wing tank fuel. Never did see the daggone radio. I should have called out as well before we actually got over there, so everyone would know, the pattern would know we're there. And now with the elevation is about 1,200 feet. It's actually 1188, so we'll say 1,200. So we're going to go down to about 2,200. I'm going to bring back the power. Bring back the power a little more here. And then we're going to turn to the right. Altitude hold off. Actually, I'm going to turn indicated airspeed off. Actually, we kind of need it to descend. This plane does not descend all that well without something like that, so I'm going to bring the power back down. You know what? Let's hold at the altitude right here. I need to power up. We'll get our speed back up and then use indicated airspeed to descend. It's a lot easier that way. Now we've flown way out though. Start heading out to the right. Okay, indicated airspeed. I'm going to bring the power back. There we go. Now we can use the power to descend. Really just pushing on the yoke in this airplane doesn't work real well. And we'll try to come in at a heading of about 136 degrees. Like I said, we never did see quite see the airport. Let's see if we can see it out here. That's going to be it right there, I bet. Trying to get out of here. We can do our 45 over to the middle of the runway. Get into the pattern. Well, I guess it'd be 45 more towards the edge of the runway, not the middle. Still trying to get down to 2,200. I'm going to pull back on the power a little bit more. Let's go ahead and turn. 36, both tanks. We should have gone out just a little bit more. So I'm going to bring it back a little bit. It's always hard for me. I don't know why it's so hard for me. So gauge the distances. That's our position. So technically, I guess you want to go over here to actually enter the pattern. We're at 2,500, almost 2,200. pulling back on the power just a little bit more. And then we will turn to a heading of about 181. Like parallel with our runway. Once you know it, it's going to be at the same freaking time. Adding power. Altitude hold, adding more power. Alright, so everything looks good. So everyone in our downwind. So we're 1,000 above. Bringing back the power a little bit. We'll start getting our flaps out here in a second. Figure we'll land with about flaps around 30. Alright, flaps to 10. Our base will be 091 degrees. Add a little more power here. Our speed comes down with the drag of those flaps. Go ahead and take that off real quick. Heading off, I'm going to go ahead and put this to our runway heading, which is 001. We'll hand fly here in a second. There we go. Autopilot is off. Let's go ahead and call our base leg. Flaps going to 20. Wanted to send too quick. We got a little far away from the... Oh my goodness. No, we didn't. I thought we, because when I let go, or took off the heading hold, I thought we drifted a little to the left. Flaps to 30. Calling that we're on final. I thought I had gotten a little further over to the left. Because like I said, it drifted over. A little more power in, just because our speed was getting so low. Nope, not being so bad. Just we were so far away from the airport. Trying to trim her down a little more. Trying to get off the power a little more to help us get rid of some of that altitude. Obviously, we're going to pitch up here. It's that speed. Oh, off to the left. I don't think there's any buildings or anything here. It's just basically a runway. When I checked it earlier. Not the best landing. I thought we still had a little more room to go. I don't know what, if it's just me, but I always have a hard time with that as well, telling exactly how high we are above the runway. It's obviously a lot easier in real life. Getting rid of the flaps. I'll just take it to the other end, and then we'll pull off the runway. Oh, not a bad flight. Alright, slow her down. Not too much though, because we always lose the speed. Get off into the grass here. Should be plenty. I don't know if I'd say plenty away from the runway, but I'll go out a little bit more. That way now we can really say we're clear of the runway. Clear of the runway. Landing lights are off. Strobes are off as well. Go ahead and taxi light off, pitot heat, window heat. We'll hit the parking brake and let FSEconomy grab it. Always hold my breath for a second, like make sure I got it. By the way, they changed how they do it with the fuel as well. They don't cancel out the flight. If you didn't use enough, they'll have calculated how much you're using, it'll take that away. So it doesn't like say your flight doesn't count. Actually, let's not use external power because we're in the grass. There's no real external power out here. Passengers seatbelts, no smoking can go off. Bleed airs, you go off. Let's go ahead and cut the generators, or cut out the fuel. Generators go off. Bus ties off. Anti-collision position lights off. DC master switch goes off. So everything is off. And, well, almost forgot this. Stop that recording. And let's go over to FSEconomy and get ourselves paid. Alright, everybody, here we are. Man, they took almost half of the money out. Alright, so we rented the airplane for exactly an hour and a half at $615 an hour. It cost us $927. We used $379.66 worth of fuel. $150.86 for additional crew, and then they dinged us on the ground crew in the booking. I think that's because the size of the plane when they decide to use that or not, like with the ground crew fee. So we let's see, it was $1,374 for the ground crew fee, $2,061 for the booking. So that'll all cost another $3,965.52. And it says distance bonus $937.54. But I checked it and it said it didn't have a distance bonus. Maybe that airplane was actually at the airport, its home airport. Because it cost us almost $1,000 for that. So yeah, that's $7,909.14. It says YT Flyers lost $11.50. I don't think so. I wanted to see something. So it was $7,909.14 divided by 13,740. Yeah, so we only got 57.56%. It sucks. It's like it's almost like the government taking half your damn money. Let me bring that back up here. Well, yeah. So let's count up how much it was here. 33,283 plus 11,669 plus 48,357 and 41,711. Oh no. Oh crap. Kidding me? And that had to be on the last one. Now we got to do this all over. Let me try it this way. 33,283 plus 11,669 plus 48,357 and 41,711 equals $135,020. So we're doing pretty good. I'm trying to get up to around 300,000. I'm kind of tempted to put the GPS in the Cherokee, though. I don't know. I think I'm going to hold off. It would kind of be nice, but I think I will hold off. I'm trying to get out of here 11 or L01. See, like KS and A, that goes back out to the west. Or, well, back to the south. See, I'm trying to get away from LA because it's hard to fly in that area because everything gets so jagged and everything. But everything wants to take us over there. I mean, we could take it that, but I don't know. What, 1171 have anything go out? Oh, that does go out to the east. And Keywood, that's over by Phoenix. Well, that's 335 miles away. That's 232. That's 8 people and 3 people. Probably can't do that. Daggone it. Because I want to get it up to the east a little more. And we also have our rental, our caravan. See, it's up here. We're trying to get it back down to the southwest. And the jobs just aren't cooperating. So we need to get that thing out of there. So our planes really aren't optimally positioned. I don't even know where our... Here we go. New Mexico? That's not too bad. We should fly that a little more, I kind of feel like. Alright, well, I mean, we're just flying bigger planes to try and make a little more money as well. But sometimes it's fun to fly the smaller ones and look at the scenery and all that. But yeah, so that's where we stand right now. And I guess that'll be the end of this episode, everybody. I hope you all did enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next flight.